What's up, ladies and gents? It's your boy, the Vuvuzela, in the building. Episode 51 of the Vuvuzela Victory Challenge. And I'm feeling oozy today, baby. I'm feeling very oozy because we got two juicy games for you. We've got Young Boys and we've got Bolo Glimt in the Europa Conference League. Excited for all of that stuff. A lot more stuff going on in the video. If you like it, hit subscribe, get notified, tell your parents, grandparents, lovers, and haters to join in on the fun with the Vuvuzela Victory Challenge. Without further ado, run that intro, baby. Guys, we've got a huge game coming up. We're taking on Young Boys. They've slipped up in recent games, although that being said, they are 3 points off the top of the table with 2 games in hand. We are just 2 points behind them and 5 points behind St. Gallen with a game in hand as well. So this is a huge game for us. That's the reason I came back for this one. In terms of what we've done, we've made it to the Conference League. We saw that last episode when we beat CSK Sofia 4-0 in the Conference Europa League. Since then, we have been undefeated and only conceding 2 goals their entire game. We've played 6 games and only conceded 2 goals, which is amazing to see. We started off with that demolition of the 6-game winning streak, beating Servette 5-1. Enya, Ferrari, and Renid both picking up braces, with Luis Carlos Pacencia scoring just after halftime to make it 3-0 at that time, because they scored in the 49th minute. Then we went on to take on Lucerne. We beat them 2-0 thanks to Pacencia and Kukuri both picking up goals in that game. We then Zurich came knocking on our door. We beat them 2-0. Felipe and Renid getting a goal apiece. And then we stayed at home for the game against Sion, where we won 3-1. Enya, Barosh, and Renid picking up a goal as well. Unfortunately, we did concede one of that. And then most recently, the 2 games we had, we beat Hong 3-0. This was a heavily rotated squad. I left Felipe in to try and give him a bit more form. Milicevic picked up a goal, and then there was also an own goal, which was a little bit contested. I don't think it should have been an own goal, but it was given as an own goal nonetheless. It was more of a deflection than anything else. And then our first game in Europa Conference League, we beat Sheriff at Tiraspol 5-0. Barros, Wood, Renid picking up 2, and Kukuri picking up a goal. And you might have noticed that Renid has been scoring a lot of goals. In fact, he's played 8 and scored 8 goals in all competitions this season so far. He has been on absolutely amazing form, so much so that Felipe finds himself a little bit on the bench at the moment, although he has scored 10 goals this season. His league form hasn't been fantastic. 8 played, 2 scored, but he has been absolutely instrumental when it comes to cup competitions, especially in the Europa Conference League, scoring 7 in 6. So that is something. He does not like big matches, and he isn't consistent, which is a little bit of a, it's proving to be a little bit of a problem, but he's still a quality striker. So in terms of today's video, we're going to play the Young Boys game. I'm then going to skip the Winthor and Luzerne game and come back for Bodo Glimt in the UEFA Conference League. Those are the 2 games we're going to show today. I do have a plan for next episode as well, but we'll get to that at the end. So we're just going to go with the Young Boys and Bodo Glimt, which I suppose is quite funny because I'm a Man United fan and we just played them on Thursday last week. So that was quite cool to see. Don't think there's any much of the same players. So Patrick Berg is still there, so that's nice to see the captain. Without his mustache now, but he's still there. Any other players that I recognize from that United win? Not really. I don't really recognize most of their players, I won't lie. Sondre Fett is still there. I saw him on the bench, I think it was. Yeah. But anyway, that is the team. So anyway, we got young boys first. Let's talk young boys. Let's speak about young boys here. This is the team that I've selected to go through. Of course, Renan still not 100% fit, so he will find himself on the bench. Ferrari's come in on that left-hand side and has been absolutely fantastic with 7 goal contributions in 12 games. He has really, really stepped up. Another man that I need to speak about who has definitely stepped up is Chris Wood. 8 games played as a centre-back. He's got an average of 6.97. He has been absolutely fantastic. More so than, unfortunately, our new signing, Mashlangu, who has kind of struggled a little bit to catch up with the pace of the Swiss League. Obviously, the Swiss League and the South African Kaiser Chiefs leagues aren't as competitive, should I say. He really has struggled a little bit to get into the game. But that's how we're starting. Littonen in goals, been absolutely amazing as a goalkeeper this season so far. Played 7, conceded 5, 3 clean sheets, 2 man of the matches. He's been great. Blattman will come on the right-hand side. Malhouse still recovering from his injury. He's not 100% match fit, so he won't be in the match today squad. Ponsinek and Wood will continue their little center pairing. They've been doing quite well in recent games, with Tiwani coming in ahead of Benelmur. Tiwani has just picked up the goal and 2 assists, which is why he's getting the nod over Benelmur. In the midfield, we're going to go with Marshall at DM, with Kakuri coming in as regista. Kakuri has put in some amazing game shifts so far. 8 goal contributions in 12 games, where Grando, his natural replacement, has only managed to pick up 3 goal assists in 12 games. I want to give Kakuri a little bit more of a run in that position. Maybe rest Grando and let him just, rejuvenate. Over up front, Barros has been absolutely fantastic. 10 goal contributions in total from him. Has played a couple of various positions already, but he's been absolutely fantastic. Pacencio with 7 goal contributions as the attacking playmaker, and Ferrari with 8 contributions in total, playing off that left-hand side as well. And then up front, we're going to start with Renid. 9 goal contributions in total. Felipe does have 11, but most of them have come through the Conference League, so I just want to maybe just use him for Conference Leagues and switch them around, try and get him on form. He is not currently on form, although he did score in the last cup game, in the Schweizer Cup. And I think against Sheriff he scored as well. But Renid has just been on exceptional form. There's just no way I can actually drop him. And if we just look at his development, don't ignore the little arrows right now. But if we just look at his development, where am I going? Training, development, thank you. No, not training. We go to his just overall, you can see how much he has actually developed. His composure has gone up a little bit. His jumping reach has gone up fantastically. Even his leadership has gone up, which is nice to see. There is a few little downsides, but if you look like just around over here, August, I think September, he had a bit of a lack. I don't know why, but he's just dropped down just a little bit. But in the last month, he hasn't developed great, albeit I'm not sure why, but he is very, very good. He is a very, very good player. That is what we're going to go do today. Let's get to the game. Of course, last season we played Young Boys 6 times. We lost all of them except for 1. Well, we actually drew 1 and won 1. The rest we lost. We lost 4 times to Young Boys. We've beaten them once. We've drawn to them once. No one's had a single shot in 15 minutes, in 14 minutes. There's been a few shots now already. And it's been a pretty quiet first half. Imri now comes with the 19th minute corner to the back post. They can't get in. Renid will pick it up. Oh, sorry, Ferrari rather will pick it up. And he's looking for options. He's got Renid ahead of him. He goes back to Wood. And Wood gives it away to Durst. Durst on the breakaway. And Kakuri back to recover. Gives it away to Mary. Silic looking for options. Waller. That was poor defending, but it is going to be called offsides. Is it off? I don't think that was offsides, guys. I think it came off our player. Yeah. That was just shocking defending. Kakuri first. His cross across goal to Imeri was poor. And then it wasn't Selic. Who was the defender? Pontinik didn't actually jump to try and put Silic off. And yeah, he was onside. Not great. Not great at all. Not the best type of start that we were hoping for. That is only our third goal conceded in 7 games. There was one team that was going to score against us. It probably was going to be Young Boys. Blattman with the throw. Picks up Marshall. Kukuri looking for options. Can't find anything. Might go back. He doesn't. He goes wide to Tiwani. Tiwani can cut in. Aseko Tiwani puts it back at 1-1. That's why we've brought him in as that left side. He's a little bit more attackive than Ben Elmer. And that is exactly why we wanted him in there. Beautiful little cross from Kukuri. Shout out to the Regista. And he slotted that into the back of the net ever so calmly. That was just brilliant finishing from Tiwani. And that is what we want from our South African. We're back in the game now. As we approach halftime, we have slowly crawled our way back into this game. And that's exactly what we want to see. Halftime, it is 1-1. And you know what? I'm going to say I'm not happy with the performance because I want to expect a little bit more. Renid seems a little bit demotivated. That's okay. Renid can, they've taken off their goal scorer, which is interesting. Tiwani with the throw deep in our own half. Tiwani goes long. Can't find the right man. The ball over the top. Finds Odex, hits the crossbar. That's their substitute for their goal scorer. And that was again questionable defending from Pontonik yet again on that. Sorry, that was Wood at this time on that side. The two centre-backs not having the best of communication at the moment. And they've given away a lot of aerial threats. And now they're coming with a corner. Pacencia pulls him down. That's going to be a penalty. They've got a penalty. I mean, I can't blame anyone. That was just poor decision-making from Pacencia. We can just hope Lettinen saves this one. And he does! Gets in, Henry! Go, Harry, go! That was brilliant. We've saved a penalty. Man, he picks up the corner. Nicely done from Harry. That was brilliant. We are going to make some subs. Ferrari hasn't really gotten into the game. Neither has Pacencia. Teo has also managed to just not play well. We'll bring on Roth for Teo. Pacencia will come off for Colina. And then, you know what? I'm going to go with Felipe. Renid hasn't been in the game at all. He's looked a little bit worried. Barros is injured. You know what? Joe, let's come on as well. We'll leave Ferrari on for a few more moments. Maybe bring on Renan in the last 10-15 minutes. We do have a throw in now with Tiwani going long to Colina. Picks up Kukuri. Felipe. Colina. Jolet gets the goal. I'm a tactical genius. That's a goal. Don't even bother with offsides. That is definitely a goal. They're pumping their fists. They've got the goal. I'm a tactical genius. Taking off Barros for Barros and Pacencia, bringing on Felipe, Colina, and Jolet. All three of them combined. We've taken the lead against Young Boys thanks to Jolet's finish. I mean, guys, he was well onside. He was in front of that player. You could see it from a mile away. There was no questions that he was offside. We're up 2-1. We're sitting in second place currently, 2 points behind St. Gallen. Felipe, looking for options, picks up Jolet. Back to Blattman, who's actually had a very good game on that right-hand side. He's crossed to Ferrari, too close to the keeper. Rassiopi finds that fantastically, launches one into the air. We have been a little bit questionable when it comes to the aerial threats. We deal with it okay there. Jolet now has some legs to run past Emery. Felipe in the box. Felipe's found his goal-scoring touch yet again. And I think with that, we can take off Ferrari. I want to give Renan some minutes on the field. He's recovering from his injury. Just to give him a few more moments, just to recover 100%. But a good little pass here from Blattman to Jolet. And then Jolet just blitzed past Emery. The covering defender didn't realize what happened. And a simple little tap in from Felipe makes it 3-1. Again, my substitutes all working well together. We're doing well. They've got to throw in, though. There's still a lot of football left to play. Did I take off Ferrari a little bit too early there? I don't feel like I don't think it's going to impact the defensive side too much. This is now young boys running forward. They've launched one into the back post. Those aerial balls are really, really struggling. And I mean, Pontiac and Wood are not small lads. They're quite big boys in terms of aerial ability. We'll have a check now. I think they're both close to almost 2 meters. Curry. I could be wrong. I don't really, study my stats of my players. Tiwani now has some opportunity, has scored already. Maybe should have done a little bit better there. Let's have a look. Pontiac. I mean, he's 188, not bad. Headering 7, jumping 11. So it's not the worst. But he's not great. Wood's 192, 10 headering, 13 jumping. I mean, aerial ability, they should really be dominating all aerial attacks. I mean, how big is Corluccio? 179. He's tiny. He's absolutely tiny. And Odex, 170. They're tiny guys and be getting dominated in the air. Don't understand it. They've got to throw in now. There's about 8 minutes left to play in the game. The back post, Blattman gets the header away this time. Doing a little bit better in the second half. There's another penalty, I think. It's going to be offsides. Okay. They scored a goal there, but it was offsides in the end. I thought it was going to be a second penalty for them. When I saw the ref blow, I was like, oh, dear. Then they scored. I was like, oh, that's weird. Corner coming, looking for Felipe. Couldn't pick up Felipe. Back to Renan. Picking up Roth at the edge of the box. Renan saves the tackle. Kukuri now running down through the middle. Takes the chance. Saw a little gap in there. I think maybe with a little bit more impact, it would have been a better strike. Felipe's off injured. I don't have any more subs to bring on. We'll just play like that without the advanced playmaker. It's just for, 4 minutes? That's not good. I hope it's not a long-term injury because Felipe just finding some form now in the last few games. We're 3-1 up. We've won it. That means we do go second in the league. Just 2 points behind St. Gallen. It says it's a big loss. It's a foot injury. That's always not good. As long as it's not knee, like a foot could be like a sprained ankle, which I'll be accepting. That's fine. But let's just see how long he's going to be out for because that... All right, guys. We're coming back for that Bolo Glint game. I've got Winterthur and Luzerne first up, though. Back for the Bodo Glimt game at home. Before we talk about the team lineups and all of that, you've had a quick little glimpse. Take a look at our last 2 games. We got a 1-1 draw against Winterthur, but really we were very lucky to get a 1-1 draw against them. They were the dominating team. From the 3rd minute onwards, we scored in the 2nd. They were absolutely just dominating, and I'm surprised we didn't concede more goals in that one. Luzerne, though, was a game that we dominated until the 60th minute. Fisher picked up a goal in the 82nd. They scored a goal in the 90th, but it was ruled offside. So that was at least lucky for us. But we have been sort of scraping through the last 2 games. We've got Bodo Glimt coming up next. It is a big game for us in the Europa League. If we take a look at the log, they're on the same amount of points. Of course, they won their first game as well, and they won it by 1 extra goal than what we won our game because they won 6-0 against the who is this? Montenegro team, Nsink. So, yeah, well done to them. Big game for us. We've got this team. We've got 3 injuries. Felipe is back, but only 45 minutes of action, so he won't start. Kukuri out for 2 weeks. Roth out for 4 weeks. And Blattman out for 4 weeks as well. So 3 very, very crucial injuries to the squad, which does mean we're going to be 3 players short on the bench. With that being said, though, we're going to stick with this team. Lettinen going to be in goals. Malhaus, since his return, has been absolutely fantastic on the right-hand side. Ponsinik going into the centre-back with Wood. Those 2 have actually been super, super consistent. Despite the shenanigans that was happening against young boys where they just couldn't save header of the ball away, they've actually been pretty damn good. Tiwani on the right has been absolutely phenomenal. Picked up an assist as well in those 2 games. Tio and Grando will be the defensive mid and Regista. Grando hasn't been on the best of form, hence Kukuri's been playing, so this is an opportunity for Grando to step up. Barros, Pacencia, and Ferrari have been absolutely phenomenal. I am looking at maybe finding a replacement for Pacencia. He's been a bit of lack of form. You can see a couple of yellow forms creeping there. Of course, last game did pick up an assist to Kukuri's goal before Kukuri got sent off, but he hasn't been the most consistent player, so it is a position we might be looking at next season. Leo Kulinia, I mean, he's come in and played well, except for the last game that he played. He hasn't really come on as a substitute much in these games. Might see him today. Ferrari has been absolutely fantastic. He did have the 2 games against Young Boys in winter where he played very, very poorly, but against Luzerne, he came in and absolutely stunned the world again. Renier, we got to talk about him. He's notching up goals galore. Of course, didn't score against Luzerne, but did score against Winterthur, and he's been playing well. He's been consistently very, very good, and in the absence of Felipe, he's actually played quite well. This is the team that's starting. We're going to jump into the game. It is a home game. I hope we can pick up another 3 points. I think this might be one of the toughest games we have in the Conference League. Luckily, it is a home game, so it does help us just a little bit. Europa Conference League action. Our first real sign of proper European football. It's -3 degrees Celsius at the Stockhorn Arena in Thun. A very, very cold October in Switzerland. Suppose it does get very cold here. I'm adapted. I've got all the hair. I'm safe. I don't feel the cold as much. But Bodo Glimt have the first sort of highlight. It's with Berg and Bjortruft moving the ball forward. This is the type of game, like I said, I think this is one of the tougher games that we have in the Europa Conference League. They were a 1-seeded team, so it is something we've got to keep an eye out. And they have picked up a goal thanks to Solid scoring a goal. It said Bodo Glimt's under 19s. That is he an under 19 player? Is he not even in the first team? I mean, I don't know. We'll have a look at that later. But that was a good finish. Not great goalkeeping. Maybe should have done better. Maybe slipped a little bit on the icy pitch. But yeah, ideally, I want to finish in the top 8 of the conference. Of course, like I said, we do have a few more tougher games to go through. I don't think Bodo Glimt is the toughest game, but it's definitely one of the tougher games that we have to play in the Europa Conference League. Berg now has an opportunity to move forward. Tiwani picks him up off nicely. He's got an opportunity to run forward. Picks up Grando. Just trying to ease the pace down a bit to our tempo. Ferrari Pacencia loses out terribly, and that's left a huge gap in the back for Zegji. Tiwani is quick to get back, sets up the defense nicely again, and another goal. Took a deflection off Poncenik. I don't know if you can call that an own goal. That's all that does is just destroy his rating, and I don't think that was an own goal. I think the ball was going on target. I mean, did he even get a touch to it? I don't know. I don't know. That is 2-0 down before halftime is not ideal for us. We have just been struggling a little bit in the last few games. We've been scraping through, to be completely honest. And it's not to say that defensively we've been bad. We've just been bad in creating our chances. Hence the why I'm thinking Pacencia might be the one to come off. That was offside there. To be replaced. He hasn't really performed. Barros has been a bit quiet as well the last few games. Most of our focus has been on the left with Ferrari, and that was Renier's shot. Took a wicked deflection away from goal. Barros with the corner now. We also haven't been great with our corners. We can't get past the first man like that. It's just been basically how our games have gone the last 3 games. The only difference is we normally score first and then give away the leads that we had, especially like with Winterthur. We gave away, and Luzerne, we almost gave away that second goal. Luckily, it was just offside. It's almost, you know, the biggest thing is that we just don't have depth in the squad. especially around the attacking sectors and midfield sector. Defensively, we do have the depths in Cyrus and Minisevic, and that's a penalty. Ponsinek not having a great game, is he? Oh, we've just been outplayed in this game. We've been on a 9-match unbeaten run, I think longer actually. And Nino Zugej just scored a fantastic penalty. There was no keeper was going to save that penalty. I'm going to make it on some subs. I don't see us salvaging a 3-0 deficit. Ponsinek can come off. Minisevic can come on. Wood has also been bad. Mashlangu can come on there. Just try and freshen things up. Renid has been pretty bad. Felipe can come in there. Ferrari for Renan. We're still trying to get Renan back up to full fitness. Jolet come on there as well. In terms of the defense, we don't really have any center defenders to come on because both Kukuri and Roth are both injured. I don't have another player that can play in the midfield, which is why I say we've got a serious lack of depth in that midfield. Tiwani now coming through. I don't think there's going to be much of a highlight. I think this is just the subs that are going to happen through. So as soon as I think the ball goes out, yeah, that should be the end of the highlight, and our subs can come on. Not ideal, is it? Not ideal at all for us. With the corner, back post. Felipe's header easily picked up by Hulken. I mean, it's not been ideal for us, has it? Fett loses out. Tio picks up Minisevic. Back to Tio. Felipe looking for options. Finds Tiwani in a nice spot here. I mean, if we can just lower the goal difference, that'll be good. Pacencia does pick up a goal. After I was speaking about how, you know, he's been average. He's been pretty much average. Tiwani looking for options. Pacencia, beautiful, beautiful little pass in through there. And we've pulled one back. I don't see us pulling another two back, despite the subs. I mean, Minisevic and Mashlangu has come on and actually performed fairly well in the defense. Jolet has done quite well on the wing. So has Renan. So maybe the subs were, you know, inspirational. Mashlangu now can pass through to Minisevic. He's got players in front of him with Tio. Tio's going to run a little bit. Picks up Pacencia. Picks up Felipe. He's got Renan on the wing with some space to run in there. Pacencia's in the box. Grando's there as well. Tio on the back post. Jolet, though, pulls one back. And suddenly, we just one goal down with 7 minutes left to play. Is there hope? Are the players coming around and proving me wrong for doubting them? Because that was a top finish from Jolet. Enough to say that maybe he deserves a place in the starting 11. There's a call for tight offside. Wasn't offside. That is very interesting that Jolet is coming. There's a kickoff highlight with 7 minutes left to play. Is the Thin Home faithful getting behind the squad and, you know, building up maybe a little bit of false hope? I don't know. Teo has picked it up now. Here he comes through, down on the wing. He's got opportunities to cross in. He's gone to the near post. Felipe, it bounced off the bar. Teo goes down in the box. That's a penalty. That is a penalty. Oh, my goodness. I just need to check who's on the penalty kicks. It will be Teo. Teo has to take that. He's our best penalty kick taker. Canis is the only other good one that can take penalties. Normally, Roth or Kukuri are two top penalty kick takers. They're both out injured, which means Teo will have to step up and take the penalty. This is a huge opportunity now to level things out at a point where we look like we're out of the game. Teo steps up. Teo scores. That's what we love to see. 3-3. What a turnaround from the boys. I'd written them off at halftime already. We made a couple of swaps. All those substitutes have come in and just stabilized the squad 100%. I mean, to take a draw out of this game is absolutely amazing stuff. It is a huge, huge comeback. The undefeated record continues We picked up a draw really against the run of play. Although you say that, and you look at the stats in the second half, 17 shots, 11 on target. What a game. What an absolutely fantastic game. We did extremely well to get a 3. I'm going to just praise the players. I'd written them off. Theo was indeed the savior of the squad. He was absolutely phenomenal. It puts us back in the top 8. I'm just buzzing at the moment. That was absolutely fantastic news. Whew. Just some other news. Kurt Portman will be leaving the squad. He's going off to Yeverdon. Never really made it into the first team. He was not a great player. Didn't develop as well as I'd hoped he had developed. Still 18 though. Can develop a little bit more, but was never going to be in the first team. So he's off. In terms of when we're coming back, we do have Nordsjælland, which is the other tough game we have in the Conference League. We have Punic, Aberdeen, and KR. Now, Aberdeen, I thought, would be a very tough game. They're struggling in the conference after the first 2 games. Coming back, though, I have decided I was going to do the Aberdeen game, but I think St. Gallen and Nordsjælland will be a much, much more exciting game to come back. So I've got 2 games, including a Schweizer Cup game in those 2, and we're back. We're just back in a few days for these 2 games because St. Gallen, top of the table at the moment. They're doing very, very well in the league. So I feel like this should be a huge game to win because we are 4 points behind them. And a victory over them could mean we go 1 point behind them. And then, yeah, we'll do the Conference League. Nordsjælland sitting in 11th place in the Conference League. So I come back for those games. Well, there you have it, folks. The injury to Felipe, not the worst injury in the world, but we can bounce back from that. We can definitely bounce back from that. Thank you very much, everybody, watching the video. Make sure you give us the thumbs up and leave a comment or 2 down below. We'll catch you tomorrow for another video. Your boy, the Vaslap, is out of here. Peace. Chicken grease.